Hey everybody, this is Ashley with Publish with Ashley, where I tell you about how to make money online. Mostly I talk about how to publish low content books or books onto Amazon. And we're going to do another niche video today, but this niche is specifically for children's books because I had a lot of people who were interested in niches for children's books. And so I'm going to work on a video to just show you how I make some fun children's books. But right now, just kind of, I want you to start doing some research and thinking what's out there. This was actually a really fun niche to research, and I found some really great ideas and things that you could probably make fairly easily that would sell really well. One of the things I know, I have made a lot of fiction books, nonfiction books. I've made children's books, a lot of that series. So series do really well for books because if someone likes your first in the series, then they are often going to purchase another one of your books. So if you're into children's books, the idea would be to create something that can be packaged together as a series or things that relate. And I will talk about that a little bit and what that means and how that works and what makes kind of some sense to put together. So let's go and start on Amazon. So like I said, I had a lot of fun researching this on Amazon. So what I did first is I started in the bestsellers and went to books and then just started going down to children's books and clicking on a lot of these different growing up facts of life or different categories. And so these are the best sellers in this. And this one, First Day of School, kind of caught my eye. You definitely should go through all these children's book sub niches and see what kind of catches your eye. But I thought this First Day of School one really caught my eye because it was things that you could definitely create. And it was just talking about if you go through these, you can kind of see some themes. It's about like a letter from your teacher, kind of explaining what the first day of class is, or this one, goodbye preschool, hello kindergarten. So it's kind of trying to get kids through transitions. Now, I think that's one of the things that you can probably do and stand out well with children's books is transitionary time books. And so that's why one of the reasons I liked this First Day of School. So if, kids, they're very fearful of like the unknown because they've had such a small experience set that they just, the unknown is scary to them. But if they see a character going through something, it gives them, or they see, someone else going through something, they can kind of relate. It's still a little hard for them to do that, but this does give them some confidence as what is going to happen the first day of school, or what happens now you're graduating, in this case, from preschool and going to kindergarten. So things like that can really help kids, and parents really like to prepare their children so they don't send their child off to school crying, because that happens a lot. There's kids who just don't want to leave mom and dad. It's very, very common. Another thing you'll see is kind of, I would say, kid themes that you want to, principles that you want to teach your child: kindness, open mindset, thinking for themselves. Let's see, what else? What should Danny do? Like, this is kind of moral decisions. If you've seen these books, they do really well. It's like he is presented with different, maybe questions or things, situations that go wrong, and he has to decide what to do, and it helps him decide if he does good or bad. Okay, so let's scroll down. These are like I've talked about in one of my other niche videos about sight words. So sight words are definitely something kids, first day of school, parents want their children prepared. So you could create, instead of just a practice, these are sight words, just practice in writing, you could create a book that has pictures and sight words and it's in full color. Let's see, kindness starts with you, right? We're talking about different things. Okay, so if you do any research, you'll see these ninja life hacks with this growth mindset. So this is a box set. You wouldn't necessarily be doing this, but this is the idea. You create a set of books around a certain topic. In this case, it's the growth mindset. So they talk about different aspects of a growth mindset. So you could come up with something like that, and don't do ninjas, do something else. But you could definitely come up with that sort of thing. Kindness, listening skills, mistakes are how I learn. See, these are all like principles you want to teach your young children. Farts are a really big one. So I guess you could do some sort of Christmas a fart book and be prepared for Christmas. I don't know that the farting toy. I'm not really sure what you would do, but I'm sure you could think of something. See, these are the sharing ninja, my first day at daycare. So you can do different things like that. There's a lot of these ninja ones. Think for myself, right? Being able to think and choose for yourself. I like to be kind. So our pledge, our promise, yeah, the Pledge Allegiance, what a great idea, because kids have to do, in the U.S., they do the Pledge Allegiance every day, so they can do that sort of things. Here's one, problem solving. So donkeys can't take bubble baths. That's just kind of in there. I thought these were super, super cute. These series of books talk, if you go in Misty Black, she has a really, now these are published by an actual publisher, but these books are really cute, and it's talking about controlling your temper and not being angry and treating people kindly and stuff. So if you kind of think of those things, you can go around that. Say hello and let it go. I'm not my emotions. I saw another one about monsters and emotions and color monsters and things like that. So those are things you need to do. The ups and downs, right? So I think kids have emotional highs and lows, and things go well and things don't. So you want to teamwork. That's a really good one. School is more than a building, right? So they're trying to show kids that school is a good place. So yes, see, here's fart. Fart is really big with kids. But if you're going to do that, do it well. You get to both ends. Okay. So I thought that was a really good one, and that got me looking into just some more of these. I ended up getting into the category of self-esteem books, and I was just looking down here. First grade, Here I Come, right? Love, Hair Love. This is really a good book. It has a lot of really good pictures. So you've got to really think about what you want to do and how you want to do it. Let's see, where are some other ones? Okay, I Choose to Calm My Anger. There's a lot of these I Choose books. Kids need to learn to make choices. So I choose to calm my anger. I choose to be kind. I choose, right? You're trying to encourage children to make choices. So those are types of things that you can go around. The World Needs More Purple People. It's about diversity. I Am Enough, right? Self-confidence for kids. So anyway, you can definitely go through and think, oh, here it is, The Color Monster, a story about emotions, right? So you have different monsters that are different colors, and they mean different things, and these color monsters come out. So you can definitely do that. All right. So really, you've just got to go through and kind of find a theme like this, a transition, and that helps. Okay, so another one I saw that's really good is, and this was a great idea, T is for turbo, and so it is learning the ABCs by a career. And this one, it's meant to kids or parents who are either mechanics or they're car enthusiasts, or maybe kids are really into cars. It's really meant to get them to learn their ABCs by saying different car parts that are, A is for, I guess, alternator, T is for turbo, B is for, I don't know, wiper blades. I'm not sure what B would be for. But that sort of thing. So you can do the same sort of thing, the ABCs, with different careers. What about nurses? What about doctors? What about lawyers? What about, monster trucks? You can do monster trucks if kids are really into monster trucks. You could do it with sports. There's a lot of different things you can do ABCs with that would relate to kids, that they would be more excited to learn their ABCs and what sounds like those letters if they're learning about something they like. So I thought this was a really good example. All right, so I got looking for entrepreneur books for kids, and this has actually got some older stuff. This is Mark Cuban, so yeah, you might know Mark Cuban, but he's famous here, at least in the U.S., and from Shark Tank. So he's going to have a good seller. But there aren't that many books, and the ones that I did see for like more picture books are not all that great. This one is pretty good. Kidpreneurs, young entrepreneurs with big ideas. So this is kind of teaching kids to be entrepreneurs. They actually have a following, so that's why theirs is good. But you can do something like this. There's really not that much out there, and I know parents are really into teaching their kids about entrepreneurship and finance. And if we go like kids, you can make an investing book for kids or a math book for kids that's through a story instead of just writing. Teach kids through story. So I think like those are subjects parents want their kids to learn. All right. So this one, I did want to go down to this one. Entrepreneur Kids All About Money. It has a pretty good BSR. It doesn't look really exciting from the description. It looks more like words. I haven't actually opened this to look, but you could do your research and find out if it's more word-based or more picture-based. Kids really like a lot of things with color and picture, so you can maybe take this concept about learning about money and teaching it in a pictorial, fun way. Kids really like fun books. All right, so I wanted to go over here. I saw this one while scrolling through. I Love You So Much, Mama. This is a great way to do it. So if you see, it's just illustrations and rhyming text about being grateful for their moms. So you could do this with moms, dads, grandmas, grandpas. You can do there's all those different things that you could do this with. So something like this would be really great because you can probably make really simple pictures and then cute little poems about each different animal and really make it kid friendly. Down here, I saw this a few times. Dad and Me Setting Farts Free. This is probably a pretty funny story. And with Father's Day coming up here in June, that's a pretty funny one. So I liked that idea with this Mom, I Love You So Much, because you could definitely do something similar to this. And let's see. School issues. This is back to that kindergarten, here I come. This is a smaller subset with growing up, school, and school issues. So if you can find something that really hits on one of these smaller topics, then you can really write something that might get up to number one with just a few sales. And then if you can do that, you get your bestseller badges and your book gets shown more often. So that's really good. So if you kind of write to that niche, then you will find that your book just gets seen more because the right people are looking for it. Let's see, most of these. So my daughter has this one, The Night Before First Grade. She really likes this book. We read it. Oh, I mean, God, she's in first grade now. She's just going to be in second grade next year, but we must have read this like 100, 200 times before she started first grade because she really wanted to know what first grade was going to be like. She really liked it. So those sort of things really do help kids. Okay, so I wanted to go over here too. I did a few of different things with keywords and competition. So let's start on the keywords real quick. And you can see that for the keywords, I did entrepreneur books for kids. The number of competitor entrepreneur book, which is pretty much books for kids. You can see that the competitive scores are pretty low. There are not too many people who are trying to rank for these words. There's competitors because if you look into some of these competition, it really doesn't, it's like using one of these words, like using entrepreneur or something like that, but it's not very useful. Now, these aren't huge average monthly earnings. This is supposed to be the ones who rank top for these keywords, but I don't know about you. I would be excited if I had $1,620 for one book, or this entrepreneur book for teens. This may not be obviously a children's book with pictures. You'd be more in this entrepreneur books for kids. But hey, I think that would be really great. And you are an entrepreneur with this, right? So maybe you know something. Now I went to this first day of school. First day of school itself, that's got too competitive, but I liked first day of school books for kids. That's a good one. There is, where was it? That was some of these down here. It was farther down. First day of kindergarten. So these don't necessarily have all that big of competition. First day of kindergarten book, first day of kindergarten, first day of preschool. There was one like first day of daycare, right? this average monthly earnings is small, but you could change this up. So maybe you don't do daycare. Yeah, maybe you go for this first day of preschool, first day of kindergarten, those sorts of words instead. But I thought this was kind of an interesting one. Now let's go over to the competition analyzer. I did first day. I just had to hit this first day of unicorn school. I thought this was really cute. It's not necessarily doing really well, but I liked the idea. So you take that's something that children are really interested in, like unicorns, cars, and then you talk about the car, the animal, the unicorn going through that experience. You can also do obviously people and kids that look like the target market you're going for, but sometimes it's fun to use the animals and things that kids really like and can relate to, cats, dogs, that sort of thing. I know my daughter really likes books with little dogs, so she gets a lot of books with dogs. I also did this entrepreneur books for kids, and you can see this one I saw while looking up. The Jasmine Starts a Launch Up, so that's kind of a good idea. You can do something specifically to walk a kid through starting a lemonade stand or something like that they could earn some money from. And it wasn't a huge amount of sales for this particular book, but I think this is pretty specific, so maybe you want to do something a little bit more general. Maybe Jasmine starts a lemonade stand, right? Because kids like to start lemonade stands. Start with something that they can understand. Some of these are not kids' books. This is a picture book, right? Oops, sorry. This is a picture book right here with the cane. This is obviously not a picture book. It's like a starting your own business for an entrepreneur for kids. And then Finance 101 for kids. These are things explaining something like this for a kid. Like, look at this one. This one has a monthly sales of $7,093. Now I've seen this one. This is like the Wimpy. It's similar in the style of Wimpy Kid, but why can't you take a topic like Finance 101 for kids and explain it in a fun, creative way to really get kids excited about finance? Parents want their kids to learn these skills, and usually trying to explain it to them is hard, but a fun book making the subject interesting is definitely something a parent I know I would appreciate to teach my kids through something fun and interactive. And that's kind of it. But those are a lot of ideas. The key to children's books, at least in doing well, for like the self publisher, the person who's not going to publish this through a big publishing house, is to pick a topic and something that's a little bit, it's not out there. It's a little bit more personal, like that first day of kindergarten, first day of preschool, the smaller niches, being scared on my first day of preschool, or the title might be, I'm a little worried about my first day of school. Something like that can really relate to a child and their feelings. And when they go through this journey with this student going through their first day and seeing it wasn't so bad, that gives them confidence that they can do it too. So that's really the idea with children's books. You really want to come up with niches that are small and that take a small journey. You can start with ABCs. You can start with learning something like finance and making it fun, or you can go and deal with the emotional difficulties that children have. So anything like that is great ideas. So I hope this helps you see kind of how I look at things and try and say, okay, I can take a big subject and make it a little bit smaller and something that I can really bite off and chew. I'm so glad you're here on my channel. Please like and subscribe if you want to hear more, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.